I was on FaceTime with my girlfriend Jessica and her mom when I overheard something I wasn't meant to hear. Jessica laughed and said, "Don't worry, Mom. I'm just having fun. I'd never actually marry a mechanic." I was in the background at the time and she clearly forgot. Her mom responded, relieved, saying she couldn't imagine bringing a grease monkey to her work events. I didn't interrupt. I just quietly packed my tools, slipped out and left. The next day, her mom called to ask why I wasn't coming to Sunday dinner anymore. So here's the background. I'm 33. I own a custom motorcycle restoration shop. I work mostly on vintage Harleys and rare European models. Stuff like 1950s Panheads and 1970s Triumphs. It's not $1 million business, but I love it and it keeps me steady. That's how I met Jessica, 29, about 15 months ago at a coffee shop. We hit it off right away. She seemed genuinely interested in what I did. Even came to the shop a few times to watch the restoration process. But her family? Different story. Upper middle class, both parents CPAs, big on professional careers and financial success. Her mom, Linda, always polite but clearly not thrilled. She'd ask about my business model, plans to expand. Never rude, just always a little disapproving. Eventually, Sunday dinners at her parents' place became a thing. Her dad Tom was okay. We'd talk investments. I even enjoyed it, despite Linda's passive jabs. But that last Sunday? Around 2 p.m. we got there, had a full meal. Around 4, Jessica got a FaceTime call from her college friend Sarah, now in Portland. They started catching up in the living room. Jessica called Linda in to say hi. I was grabbing my jacket when I heard Jessica's voice drop, responding to a question about me. She said she was just having fun and would never marry a mechanic. Her mom said she was relieved and made a crack about bringing a grease monkey to work events. I stood there, listening quietly from the hallway. My mind didn't race. I didn't feel rage. Just this strange clarity. Everything clicked into place. I returned to the kitchen, told Tom I had to leave for a work thing, and slipped out the back door. Drove home, sat with it. Not heartbroken, just understanding what was actually going on. Jessica wasn't building a future with me. I was a placeholder. Fun for now. Monday morning, I got into the shop early. I threw myself into work, rebuilding a 1972 Sportster engine. When Jessica texted asking why I left early, I said I was just busy. She asked about dinner. I said I'd be working late. When she called the next day, concerned, I just said I was focused on the shop. She seemed confused, but didn't push. By Wednesday, I started taking my tools back from her place. Just things I'd brought over when fixing her car or helping her move. Thursday, I changed my emergency contact details. She'd been listed after she offered a while back. Felt logical to clean all that up. Then Friday, Linda called me directly for the first time. Asked what was going on. I kept it short. Said nothing was wrong. Just that Sunday dinners didn't fit into my schedule anymore. She seemed surprised, almost hurt. Later that day, Jessica showed up at my shop. Said we needed to talk. She looked frustrated, maybe confused. I told her I'd been thinking about whether we were really compatible. She said of course we were. 15 months together had to mean something. I asked if I was just temporary. She froze. I told her I heard what she said on Sunday. Her face changed completely. She stammered, said she didn't mean it how it sounded. Claimed she was just trying to manage her mom's expectations. That she panicked and said something thoughtless. But I told her no, it wasn't a mistake. It was honesty. That was how she really saw me and my work. She kept denying it, but I told her it was okay for her to want someone different. I just didn't want to be part of the charade. She begged, said she loved me, but it didn't matter. I wasn't going to be someone's temporary stand-in while they waited for something better. I told her we were done. The next day, the text started. Apologies, explanations, pleased to talk. I ignored them. Sunday morning, Linda called again, asking what happened. I told her what I heard. She fell silent. Then tried to say she thought it was hypothetical. I reminded her it wasn't. Jessica said it to her, about me, while I was in the house. That ended the call. Sunday evening, Jessica showed up at my place. Tried again. Said she'd made a mistake, said she loved me. I told her she loved the convenience of someone who fixed her car, handled emergencies, made life easy. Not me. Not who I am. She cried. I didn't. I told her to go find someone her mom would actually respect. And I closed the door. It's been 4 days. She's left flowers, notes, showed up at the shop again. I asked my employee Jake not to let her pass the front. Her friends are messaging me now, calling me cold, saying I should forgive. But this wasn't a slip of the tongue. This was the truth she says when I'm not supposed to hear. She didn't see me as a life partner. Just a filler until something more acceptable came along. So here I am, back in my shop, back to working on bikes for people who actually respect the craftsmanship. Back to doing what I love, for people who value what I do. No more pretending. 1 week after everything went down, I've had some time to reflect. This week has been eye-opening in a lot of ways. Thanks to everyone who's shown support and left thoughtful comments. It's been good to see that most folks get why I'm not okay being someone's fallback option while they wait for Mr. Right. Jessica's attempts at damage control didn't surprise me. She's telling everyone I took her words the wrong way, claiming it was a misunderstanding and that I'm blowing it out of proportion. On Monday, her friend Chloe stopped by the shop. Mike, come on. You're being ridiculous. Jessica really loves you, she said. No, Chloe, I told her. Jessica loves convenience. She said something to get her mom off her back, something that showed me how she truly sees me. She only made one dumb comment. Don't throw away a good thing over that. She called me a grease monkey and said she'd be embarrassed to introduce me at her work events. That's not nothing. She was just venting, she didn't mean it. She meant it. She didn't know I was listening. After a few more tries to guilt-trip me, Chloe gave up. Tuesday brought a surprise call from Linda. Mike, I owe you an apology. For what exactly? I asked. For the way I treated you. I talked with Jessica, and she tried blaming it all on me, saying I pressured her into wanting someone more professional. But I told her that's not true. I never said anything like that. Linda then told me she'd reflected on her own attitude. I didn't know anything about motorcycle restoration. I just assumed it wasn't a serious job. But I did some research. There's real skill in what you do, and classic bikes are valuable. I judged you without knowing the facts. I shouldn't have. She admitted she had misread me and now saw the work I do differently. And honestly, you were always polite and respectful, even when I wasn't. Tom's been wondering when you'd come over again. He liked chatting with you about business and politics. Tom is a good guy. Linda invited me to dinner on Sunday. Said Jessica wouldn't be there. I told her I'd think about it. Then came Wednesday. Jessica and Linda showed up at my apartment. Mike, I asked Mom to come so we could clear things up, Jessica said. Linda looked uncomfortable. I told her this was your business, not mine. But she insisted. What did you want to say, Linda? I asked. I'm sorry if my attitude made Jessica feel like she had to defend the relationship, she said. Jessica quickly added, see? It was just pressure and miscommunication. So I asked Linda directly. Did you ever tell Jessica not to date someone who works with their hands? No. Did you say she needed someone with a more professional job? No. I told her she should find someone kind and reliable. You've always been that. I turned to Jessica. When you said you'd never marry a mechanic, and your mom agreed, was she being honest? Linda looked at her daughter, then back at me. I agreed because I was surprised she said that. Not because I believed it. Her comment confused me. Jessica, own what you said. Don't twist it around to make others the scapegoat. Something shifted right there. Linda saw her daughter in a different light. Jessica, desperate now, said, I'll do anything to fix this. There's nothing to fix, I said. You told the truth finally. And I'd rather hear the truth than live in a fake version of love. They left, Jessica in tears, Linda lost in thought. Thursday, Tom called. Mike, I don't know the full story, but you're always welcome here. Linda told me some things. You handled it like a true gentleman. No use making a scene, I said. You planning to come Sunday? Maybe. Linda seemed sincere. Great. I'll chill some beers. Friday brought Jessica's last-ditch effort. She came to the shop holding a ring box. I want to marry you, she said. Jake and another employee stopped working to see what was going on. Jessica, what are you doing? I bought this ring. I'm proposing. I want to show how serious I am. You bought a ring, for yourself? To prove I'm ready to commit. You want to marry me now because you were caught saying you wouldn't. I made a mistake. I was wrong. No, Jessica. You were honest. That's not a mistake, it's clarity. She left, crying, holding the ring she hoped would fix everything. Saturday, I poured my focus into restoring a Sportster. Clean focus work. Good for clearing the mind. Sunday, I accepted the dinner invite. Jessica wasn't there. Linda made sure of it. And honestly, it was peaceful. We talked about everyday things. Golf. Books. News. There was no awkwardness, just connection. Before I left, Linda pulled me aside. You handled this better than most would. You never got nasty. That speaks volumes. No reason to get angry. Jessica showed me who she was. That's enough. Tom and I both think you're a solid man who deserved better. That meant something. To gain the respect of her parents even after breaking up with their daughter? That felt real. By the second week, Jessica made one last attempt. She came by again, this time with a business proposal. I want to invest in your shop. Help you grow. Why? Because I believe in your work now. I've looked into it. 3 weeks ago you mocked it. Now you're a fan. I've changed. No. You Googled it because you got caught. You can't buy your way back after faking respect for over a year. After 10 minutes of trying to convince me, she finally gave up. The best part? Watching the truth ripple through her family. Jessica tried to paint me as unforgiving, but Linda and Tom told the truth. At one gathering, when Jessica claimed I was being petty, Linda cut her off. She said what she meant. And Mike has every right to leave someone who's ashamed of him. Tom, even more blunt. He told his golf friends that I'm a craftsman, and Jessica never appreciated that. Word got out. Jessica's image took a hit. Mine actually got better. Tom referred 2 bike clients my way. Both heard I did top-notch restoration work. Even Jessica's investment offer ended up making her look insincere. People saw it as a calculated move, not love. Meanwhile, my shop's thriving. Got some new builds going, including a gorgeous '69 Triumph Bonneville. The kind of work that pays well and satisfies the soul. I'm also seeing someone new. Met Sarah at a vintage bike expo. She's a nurse with her own restored Honda. When I told her about my shop, she was genuinely curious. Wanted to see it and hear about my projects. No ego. No judgment. Just real interest. Last week, Jessica sent a text. I heard you're dating someone. I hope you're happy. I didn't reply. But yeah, I'm happy. Not because of some grand revenge. Not because I planned any of this. Just because I walked away from someone who didn't respect me and let her own actions speak loud and clear. Jessica wanted a placeholder while she searched for her ideal match. Instead, she lost a good man, alienated her parents, and stained her reputation. She thought she could talk down about me without consequences. But words have a way of revealing truth when least expected. Now, I restore vintage bikes for people who respect quality and value honest work. I've always done that, and nothing Jessica ever said could change it. All she did was show me she was never meant to be part of that world. Now I've found someone who understands it. And that's more than enough.